Before shooting this video, I was looking for a t-shirt. I was asking myself, do I have a Daredevil t-shirt? Do I have a Punisher shirt? I don't have either or, but I do have this t-shirt that is a skull formed of thousands of little tiny kitties, because that's very Punisher-like. In Daredevil Season 2, Charlie Cox returns as Matt Murdock / Daredevil. Also, you have the cast of the first season make their triumphant return as well. You got Foggy, you got Karen Page, you got Stick, and you got a whole bunch of other new characters as well. Elodie Young plays Elektra, former lover of Matt Murdock back in their college days. And you also got Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, played by Jon Bernthal. You remember him? Shane from The Walking Dead. Yeah, that guy. So the beginning of the season starts off pretty well. Everything's kind of cool, kind of sort of quiet in Hell's Kitchen. It's not all peaceful, perfect paradise. There is still some petty crime going on, like robbery and violence and a whole bunch of other crappy shit going on in Hell's Kitchen. But not to worry, because the devil of Hell's Kitchen is right there to protect the people. Spoilers if you haven't seen Season 1, but if you would remember Season 1, then you would remember that Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin, went to prison. So pretty much the head of organized crime is gone, he's done, it's over. Nelson and Murdock won. And speaking of Nelson and Murdock, that law firm is now growing a bigger clientele. They're defending a whole bunch of people now. They still got the same office. They still got Karen Page doing the whole lawyer assistant thing. Things seem to be going A-okay for the most part for good old Daredevil. Matt Murdock is living a cool social life. His relationship with Foggy Nelson is still cool. If you remember, Nelson knows that Murdock is, in fact, Daredevil. Matt Murdock is growing as a lawyer. And not to mention, Daredevil gets a new suit, an upgraded suit. You remember the guy that stitched him up a whole new suit? And it's pretty badass. The new suit is sweet. I really like the new suit. It's nice. But not all good things last forever, unfortunately, in Hell's Kitchen. There's somebody wiping out all these gangs, all the cartels, all these Irish gangs. Somebody, at first they thought it was an army, but when they find out it's one person, it's up to Daredevil to find out who it was. And of course, it's the Punisher. Frank Castle is on a mission to find the scumbags that killed his family. Now, if you guys don't know the history of the Punisher, read some comics and you would know Frank Castle was an ex-Marine and he's out for vengeance. He's looking for the organized crime dealers that killed his family. And of course, Daredevil and the Punisher form a conflict right there. They just don't connect and they fight each other. They have a couple of fight scenes. So Daredevil is dealing with the Punisher, he's dealing with Elektra, he's dealing with the Hand, he's dealing with Nelson and Murdock, and then Karen Page's character grows into something big that actually form a little love connection going on right there. Matt Murdock is just stressed as hell. He's like, there's just way too much on his plate. He just can't do all this on his own. Daredevil, poor guy, man. He's just trying to do the right thing. He's trying to be a hero. He's trying to save people from getting hurt. But no, a rain of shitstorm just falls right on him. I said this is a spoiler-free review, but I will say this. If you really enjoyed that hallway fight scene, then you're gonna enjoy this season. They did something just for you guys who would really enjoy that hallway fight scene. Daredevil has all of this on his plate, and he has to come up with a conclusion all within 13 episodes, which seems mind-boggling. But the rest I'll let you guys watch on your own because there is still a lot to cover. There's a lot of mystery involved with these characters. I really love Jon Bernthal as the Punisher. I thought he nailed that role so well. You care so much about this character, all the shit that he's been through, all the shit that he's going through, and he just seemed like he was beaten up the whole time. The makeup artist for Jon Bernthal must have had a great time adding up the cuts and the bruises on him all the time. His Punisher is so brutal and he's intense. Like, you can see the fire in his eyes. Like, this guy is a raging animal. He does not stop. He is ruthless. And the Punisher, the character of the Punisher, is ruthless. And we have seen the live action Punisher before in the past, but I gotta say, this Punisher is something else. He is a whole different animal. There was a lot of characters in Season 1, but they just added even more characters in Season 2, and it's kind of hard. At first, I was worried that it would be hard for me to keep track with all these characters. Oh yeah, that character's backstory, that character's backstory, or that person's motives, or that person's motives. At first, yeah, like, it's a little, like, a lot on your plate, but eventually, like almost every show, you start progressing and you start developing a better idea, a more broader vision that you have of these characters. The action and the fight scenes and the violence, everything was on point. The special effects, everything was all great. I really enjoyed. This is a very well made show. I think they just upped the scale way more on season 2 than they did with season 1. And of course, you got your Marvel Easter eggs in there for those of you who might actually been reading comic books in the past. What I really don't like it is when movies set up for a sequel or for a third movie or whatever. What I really liked is that season 2 ended on a solid level. That was it. There was closure. It's so edgy and it's so dark and gritty. You thought season 1 was gritty. It just got a whole lot darker and a whole lot grittier in season 2. I will tell you that. I'm really enjoying these Marvel Netflix shows. I love Jessica Jones. I love season 1 of Daredevil. I am very excited for Luke Cage. And fingers crossed for a Punisher Netflix show. That'd be so amazing. Gosh. Yes. I'm going to give season 2 of Daredevil a 5 out of 5 skulls. Punisher skulls, that is. Yeah. Okay, so Daredevil Season 2. If you have not seen it, go watch it immediately. And for those of you who have seen it, I would really like to know, what did you guys think of Daredevil Season 2? I loved it. I hope you guys loved it. Leave your comments in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video, and check out the merch store. Buy yourself a t-shirt. Oh yeah. And check out the latest episode of the podcast where we talk a little bit more about Daredevil Season 2. And that would be it. You guys have a great one. Until then, stay focused, stay sharp, and Axial on.